Hi, I'm Shushma. I'm a teacher by trade, but my career was focused on supporting children with learning difficulties, and now I work for a charity who support families who've lost a child. My younger brother Arvin passed away. He had Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It shaped us as a family and gave us an insight into managing special needs. Arvin always loved children, and a few years later, we came to the decision that we wanted to foster as a family. 6 months after we completed our foster carers assessment, my mum got a phone call regarding a baby who wasn't born yet. That was Layla. On that call, they said that Layla's birth mum had been drinking heavily throughout the pregnancy, and they wasn't even sure if Layla would even survive. Layla was born full term, but her weight was that of a premature baby, which is quite natural for children who have FASD. She was born with 2 holes in the heart and a skin infection. At the beginning, she wasn't sleeping. She wasn't really drinking her milk from the onset. Feeding was such a big problem. We had to go to the hospital weekly because we were so concerned about her weight. And soon after, she was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis. Amongst all of this, fetal alcohol spectrum disorder was mentioned, but we weren't given any information. At the time, I don't think many professionals understood either. Even today, people dwell on the cystic fibrosis, and I have to tell them it's mild. Fetal alcohol spectrum disorder is what affects my daughter on a daily basis. When Layla was 10 months old, social services said Layla should go out for adoption, and I put my name forward. We wanted stability for Layla. We wanted her to have the best start possible. The key turning point was attachment training. Layla needed to know she was loved. And what I learned is that if something does go wrong, it's about being empathetic, being with them. One of the first qualities you'll notice in Layla is she's very sociable, she's very chatty. Her bubbly personality has shone as she's got older. Nursery had its challenges. It was hard to find people who understood Layla's needs, but when she hit reception, that's when the difficulties really started. She was coming home very dysregulated, hungry, tired. I could see she just wasn't herself. And when she came home, she wasn't really eating. She was very anxious. She stopped reading books at home. She wasn't interested. She just stopped engaging. The school told me Layla's very capable, but she was being lazy and doesn't want to work. That was really hard because I know my daughter and I know she wasn't happy, but they just couldn't see that. She wasn't fitting in. Layla was so vulnerable at school. Once, a child in her class told her to touch nettles. Her hand was so swollen and red. And when I asked her why she did it, she said, because she's my friend. During COVID-19 pandemic, when we were in lockdown, I started homeschooling Layla like everyone else. We went back to basics. We talked about the countries we visited. We went back to picture books. Soon we could see she was thriving and she started becoming more interested in things and wanted to learn. She enjoyed reading books and then slightly harder books, going at her own pace. She did this by starting to listen to audiobooks while following along the page. She started remembering her words and then built her confidence. She needed that slower pace to calm down. Now she makes friends without expectations and that burden of having to fit in. We're careful to choose environments which are fitting for Layla, so know where that's too crowded or too noisy. But if it is, we'll warn her if we need to, so she knows what to expect and that helps her to transition. I don't know what the future will hold, and if Layla does go back to school, I'll try and make sure that the school is right for her. She has an annual review to make sure education is progressing as it should, but I go at Layla's pace and she never stops learning now.